morning. Golly. These days I'm squeezing out every inch of daylight that I possibly can. And then also going well into the night. Very, 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 very busy time for us. And that's okay. Because that's what making it home's all about. Anyway, we're going to do a little epoxy project today. This is not at all the video I thought I was going to be doing, but here we are. You guys might have seen the video that I released just prior to this one, where we were installing the electric and all that stuff on the sawmill, and we didn't have all the parts and pieces that we needed. Who saw that coming? So anyway, but it's a continuing process, and I thought you guys would be interested in seeing the whole thing. So there you go. Anyway, I got to squeeze out even more daylight out of this day, and I need to get a project done for a client. Amazing. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's my phone going off. I texted Joel before I started this video and said, hey, only text me on your break because I might be videoing. And he responded back, okie dokie. That was him calling just now. Yeah, on his break. Anyway, we're going to get off into this. I cleaned my molds. I'm making a coaster set. I should tell you that. I've already cleaned my molds, and I put my first very thin layer of 2-part epoxy down. Now I do that first initial layer because I need something sticky for these doohickeys to stick to. Hold them in place. So we're going to go ahead and place these and get them rocking and rolling. I'm going to tip you down, but before we start the party, I'm going to throw a little question at you guys. It's a little impromptu poll, if you will. So I will tell you, if you answer this question, okay, just give me your opinion on this thing right here that I'm about to mention. This, I'm going to send you a little something, okay? I'll get a hold of you. I'm just going to randomly select a comment, good, bad, or otherwise, about this certain question right here. Here's the question. Cottage cheese and peaches. Yay or nay? Let me know. Drop it in the comment. Yes, we love cottage cheese and peaches. Or gag me with a spoon, no way, Jose. Or Hoseby. Whatever. Right? So there it is. Give me your input on that burning question. I'll randomly select a comment, and I'll send you out a little something from the Making It Home stash. There you go. Okay, guys, I'm going to get you tipped down so you can watch what I'm doing. I think you guys already know the drill. The very first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to mix up my 2-part epoxy. Okay, we have that all mixed up and it's set off to the side. Now let's get into the fun. Yeah, these are really nice graphics. What I have going on here, these are actual, these are actual pressed sunflowers. Aren't they great? And I'm just going to very carefully place one in the center of each coaster. And just so very, very gently tap it into place. And I just love it. You know, they're just like nature. They're a little bit irregular. They're not perfect. None of us are, right? just love them. I saw them and knew this would be just exactly what my client wanted. And I'm trying to choose the ones that are all like the same general size, because the sizes are varying on these. So I want to keep it about as uniform as I can. Again, nothing is absolutely perfect in nature, but at the same time, everything in nature is perfect. We're just going to, again, lightly tap them into place so that they stay where I want them to be. Now, this company that I got these fabulous little graphics from, they sell all kinds of different dried flowers, dried and pressed flowers. So if you guys want a coaster set and you have a specific flower in mind, send me an email and I'll put in the email address somewhere in here. And let me know what you have in mind, and I'm sure I can help you out. And guys, on the coaster sets as well as the candles, all of the proceeds are going toward our sawmill project, because we want to make family dinner tables for folks who otherwise probably can't afford something like that. They're busy trying to make ends meet and keep milk and stuff on the table. So it's our little way of giving back to our community, in the real sense of the word community. It's getting to be a rather diluted word now, community. Okay. Ooh, these are going to be so pretty. These are going to be so pretty. Just kind of a whole little bit. I'm not sure if they slid a little bit or if I was just crooked to begin with. But we're going to put our top coat on now. And we're going to try to get as even of a coat as we possibly can, yet still fill the mold. And I'm pouring super slow so I don't get any bubbles. Or I'm trying to minimize my bubbles, I should say. No matter how careful I am, I don't seem to be able to avoid bubbles altogether. But there are simple tricks and fixes to minimize your bubbles. And I'll show you that in just a sec. You guys, don't forget, drop a comment answering my question. Are you pro peaches and cottage cheese or not so much? Let me know. I'm going to pick a random comment and send a little something out. If you wonder why the weird angle, I want to make sure they're all filled at the same level. The nice thing about this two-part epoxy, it is self-leveling, which also means you want to make sure that you're curing this, you're allowing it to dry on a perfectly level surface. Yeah, it's important. So, what we're gonna do, heard something drop. What we're gonna do is gonna wait for this to kind of settle in and do what it's gonna do. And I'm gonna wait for the little bubbles to start popping up. So I'm placing everything over here on my surface that is nice and level. Very happy with that. And we're going to let those set up. While we're doing that, let's mix up a little bit more epoxy. And I'm going to do some colorants on this. This is the stand for the coasters themselves. And like we always say, it is super important that you are precise in your measurements. Just a little off can really throw the project. So we're going to do our initial stir. And we need to figure out what we want to do. So we're working with this really pretty golden color. It's not a vibrant yellow. I am going to add in some of my micro powders. Now what I've learned going into this journey, some people say that the micro powders are just perfect for doing candles or epoxy. And I have learned that is not the case. So you don't want to use micro powders in your candles because it can cause a little bit of sparking or sputtering, and you don't want that. I also learned the very hard way after running a huge order of candles that micro powders can also break down your essential oil. So yeah, you don't want to do that if you want to have a good throw on your candles. But for epoxy work, no problem. I'm going to add in some of this gold dust. Not a whole bunch, just enough to give the holder itself a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of sparkle. We're going to mix this thoroughly. By the time we get this all mixed up and poured in, it'll be perfect timing for us to check and make sure that we don't have any bubbles popping up on our coasters. Now to this gold, to the gold micro powder, I'm going to add a bright yellow. I think that's going to be pretty. Four drops, 4 tiny drops. And we're going to get that mixed in really well. And I want that really pretty sunflower gold. Ooh, that's what we have. That's going to be pretty. Look, that's a pretty set. So now off into the mold we go. Now, since I can't get my my alcohol sprayed down in there to prevent bubbles from the bottom, I like to pick up the mold and just kind of bounce it up and down. All right, that looks really good. And now we're going to check our coasters back here. So there you have it. We're going to let everything set up, and I'll bring you back when it's ready to demold everything. It always seems like it takes forever to get to the demolding process. And we, never fails. We had to have our share of problems along the way. And I'll share some of those with you, some of the successes and some of the little hiccups. So I've already demolded this one, and this is what looks like. That one's a keeper for sure. Guys, in the spirit of full transparency, I've had to redo these about 3 times so far. And I'll show you why in a minute. But this one's also going to be a keeper. Ah, it's nice. Now, I love how centered these ones are. Now these are like I said earlier, these are real, actual wolf sunflowers. So, like you would find them in nature, they're just not all 100% symmetrically perfect. But late in the curing process, I started developing bubbles, and I can't have that. So I'm going to have to redo. I'm going to have to redo one more of these. So you can see this one is looking really good, but it's not ready to be demolded yet. So that was one of the redos. And we are ready to take our little stand out. I'm kind of excited to see how this turned out. The color looked really pretty. And it's got just enough little sparkle to it. Makes me really think of sunflowers dancing in the sunlight. Oh man, this stuff is low odor, so no, I'm just waxing poetical because I'm happy. Not because I'm under the influence of fumes. That's how rumors get started, guys. Let's not do that. I'm just teasing with y'all. Ha ha! I love these molds. They just pop right back into shape. See? Isn't that fun? That's so fun. Anyway, I love these. So that's our little stand. And what I'm going to do, some of these have kind of sharp edges where they came up just a little bit over the rim. And I've got a little file that I'll just smooth the edges down with. And I might even do like a gold trim border. I think that would be pretty. You get the idea. So they'll just stack right up in there. Yeah, see, it's fitting. Oh no, it's fine now. Okay, never mind. Okay. You can see, sometimes perfection is elusive. I've got plenty of epoxy, so redoing my mistakes, yeah, I'm not too hurt about that. I only have so many sunflowers to work with though, but I'll get a couple more made, maybe a couple extra for the set, but I'll go ahead and I'll make a couple more, and I'll make sure to keep a closer eye on the bubbles that pop up. Anyway, so yeah, I use this, and I use a lot of rubbing alcohol to take care of the bubbles as we go through. And as soon as I get done pouring, I'm spritzing, and it brings all the air bubbles up. But there's still stuff, especially when you're using graphics and they're not perfectly flat, air gets trapped, and it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're going to have air that traps underneath your graphic, and that's going to eventually work its way up to the top. So it's not a huge thing, and I'm still learning. I am still learning. And thank God I am, because it means I've got a brain to learn with and a heart to learn with. So there's always that. Anyway, life would be boring if you didn't make mistakes and learn from them. So Joel is on his way home from work. I don't know that we're going to be able to get out there and get the electrical done on the sawmill, but you'll see. You'll see if we do. But I got to go finish my laundry. And I got to remake a couple of these, so some point tonight I got to make supper. It just never ends, guys. Yeah, and I'm about 42 orders behind right now. So you guys keep giving me grace. I'm going as fast and as hard as I can. I'm about 42 orders behind out of 100 and it was almost 200. I'm getting there. There's only one of me. A little grace would be great. Y'all, we love you. We appreciate you coming along with us week in, week out. Share us out to your friends. That helps us grow too. And like we always say, keep looking up. Say thank you. Thank you. He's on his way home. Keep your attitude of gratitude at all times and all things. There's always something to be grateful for. Today, I'm grateful for you. All right, guys. May God bless you and keep you. May his face shine on you and give you peace. And we will catch you on the flip. See ya.